Right, we're live.
Yeah, good to go.
Right, we're 100%.
Okay, to go.
Right, so I think we should just go through them little notes we have.
Yeah, I think we just start over from afresh.
Alright, we are 1000% go.
Okay. Okay. Hello guys, welcome to this new episode of the Partido Podcast, where we talk everything Atleti. Atleti just played a 1-0 draw in the Champions League against Man United in the first leg of the round of 16. So joining me to talk about that game and previous games is Luke. Luke, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine, Emmanuel. How are you?
Well, I'm doing great, better than United, I guess. So we are on this episode. We have a special guest, and Evie, thank you for accepting our invite to join us to talk about Atleti's Champions League first leg tie against United. So Evie, welcome to the podcast, and how are you doing?
Hello, happy to be here. I'm okay. Proud of the players today.
Well, so diving straight into things, we are going to be talking about Atleti's performance against United. Basically, that was Atleti's best performance for a long while now, because Atleti had total control of the game until United equalized. Control of the game. Evie, I'm going to be asking you, Atleti played really well thanks to Cholo's tactics and also thanks to the fans for kind of getting them in the mood from the pre-match to the atmosphere in the stadium, the atmosphere pre-match to the atmosphere in the stadium. So what happened in this game, or what did Atleti do right in this game that they have not been doing in previous games?
Well, in most games of this season, I've seen that our players lack confidence, attitude, intensity, and I saw all those things today. Maybe it's because it's a big UCL clash. Maybe it's because of the fans. But yeah, we were really good, confident, and the players all left their all today in the pitch. And yeah, I'm really happy with what we saw. We can talk about little tactic changes, but I think that the main change was this attitude.
Yeah, the main change was the attitude, and that attitude came from how the fans changed that of the players, because I'm not sure a single player in the Atleti boss team boss would have seen the atmosphere before the game and not give 110% on the pitch. So look, same question, what do you think happened in this game that has not been happening in previous games?
We saw massive intensity with the team. We've seen the players go for that ball very high up. We just seen such stability at the back that we haven't really seen, bar the assets on the match, which I thought we were defensively solid. I think that with Loddy up as honestly a replacement for Carrasco for that side. I think he played well. He clicked well with Joe Felix, and I think that overall, I think that still we're lacking that end product, but definitely such a notable positives to take from the match than disappointment.
Yeah, look, you just talked about lacking end product. Atleti hit the post 3 times. Well, Atleti's opener was from Joao Felix, which hit the post and went in. The other time, you had Vashaliko's header, which ricocheted off Varane and hit the post, and you have Griezmann also hitting the post when he came on in the second half. So Atleti were not on fine from the form they showed against Osasuna, in which they had 3 big chances and converted all 3 big chances. Normally do, but the time they are pressed and they kind of forced the center backs into rushing their passes, and then since the passes were not accurate, they are able now to press the ball. The player who is receiving the ball and kind of win back the ball. So diving into tactics, what do you think Cholo had spot on tactically, especially in the first half? Because in the second half, United kind of grew into the game.
Yeah, so we pressed them really well. We pressed them high, and yeah, it was mainly because United are not great at building from the back, and when they go long, they don't have a really good player to go long to. Usually, teams that go long have, I don't know, a target man and someone that can hold up play and win headers. United don't have that. And in our midfield, we had Herrera and Kondogbia, who were immense. They won everything in midfield. So we pressed them high and then let them go long. And when they went long, Kondogbia and Herrera were waiting to intercept the balls. And yeah, they were insane. Kondogbia was basically stuck to Pogba all the time. Pogba made nothing. I only remember one great pass, and yeah, that's all I remember from him. But yeah, that press was really good, but I don't think it works much against other teams. Teams who have a good build-up, we just won't be that effective.
Yeah, you just talked about the fact that Pogba was really quiet, which is something Atleti did quite well. United, I would say United is not really sure, but that's crazy to Atleti for making them to look really bad, because we talked about the one great pass. Thanks, luckily for Atleti, Bruno Fernandes did not receive the ball well, and Atleti had to play the ball. But Atleti really kept the likes of Sancho quiet. Sancho, in which we have seen in recent games, he has been good for United, and he has been coming out being the player they signed from Dortmund. But Atleti really did very well. I talk about the fact of press, and also one thing that Atleti did which was really good was the fact that in throw-ins,
What I think Cholo should do, that is make things simpler, like today. I mean, we just, like I saw against Levante, that Cholo was like overcomplicating shit. So he was creating strange tactics, adding a layer of complication to the players that they don't need. Right now, they have a mental problem. They lack attitude and stuff. And if you add complicated tactics, it won't help. So if we do, today was a pretty simple approach. We pressed them high. We won the ball in good places. Defensively, typical Cholo, created those triangles on the wings that we had better numbers. Like United constantly found themselves in a 3v2 situation against us, and with Kondogbia, Lodi and Reinildo on the left side, on the right side, Versalico, Llorente and Herrera, and yeah, those little things, easy things that we should do going forward.
yes, you just talked about doing things easy, but all season it looks like Cholo has been not having the formula right. Like you talk about complicating it. Last season, from August to December, he got things right, brought the best out of the likes of Hermoso and Trippier. But this game against United, we saw the formation bringing the best out of Lodi. We saw a Lodi who kind of had the freedom of going forward. And as we have talked on previous podcasts, especially the podcast on Atleti's transfer dealings in the January transfer window, we talked about the fact that Reinildo coming in can maybe free up Carrasco to attack more or cause more havoc down the left hand side. But Carrasco suspended for this game, and we saw Lodi making the most of that, given he has the confidence in Reinildo who is behind him. So what's your take on the Reinildo's performance or the impact he had in the game? Because maybe apart from the mistake, which was the sole mistake I think Atleti made the whole match, which he tried to anticipate the ball, but as Cholo said in his post-match press conference, the pass was too precise. So what's your take on Ronaldo's impact in this game, because he kind of free uploads?
Yes, you have Hermoso, who is good when we play, when we have the ball, when he plays in an open field, when he can have the ball at his feet, and he can place passes. He's very accurate with his left foot. We know that. But when it comes to defense, he's not that great. And yeah, Reinildo, he is good at defense, not that great with the ball. They are like opposites. And yeah, in this game, we tend to sit back a lot. So Reinildo was very important because he was very solid defensively. I think that the only time anyone created danger through his side was in the goal. So yeah, in a big game like this one, I play Reinildo where he played today, and Lodi, who isn't the greatest defensively, is benefited by this. So yeah, I think Reinildo was great today, and I would continue playing him here. And in the league games too, not only in big games, because we've been so bad, so he helps.
Yeah, you just talked about the fact that defensively he helps. Looking at what Adama Traore did to Hermoso at the Camp Nou, with Ronaldo being strong in the 1v1 duels, and also his pace, his powerful, his timing, his interception and everything, that could kind of make the left-hand side of Atleti be more productive. To be honest, if you look at the stats, Atleti are more productive from the left-hand side than the right-hand side, which is down to the fact that Trippier is no more and we cannot activate Llorente. When I talk about activating Llorente, it's him running into the half spaces, that's the interior, the channels. So this game kind of had so many good, brilliant performances. We had that of Joao Felix, we had that of Herrera, and also we had that of Correa. Correa's play role in this game was kind of under the radar, given he did not really have the shining, brilliant performance. He just had to let the game flow, one touch, two pass, and he's able to give Felix the ball. Atleti in the second half, Atleti under pressure. He's able to win a free kick so that Atleti can have a little bit of breathing space. So, in your opinion, the man of the match award was given to Felix. But in your opinion, who will be your man of the match?
Herrera.
Yeah, no, definitely Colombia.
Yeah,
he was insane. Wait, let me look at the numbers, because his number of recoveries must be 15.
Do you
I
not
don't
mean Patrick Vieira?
Yeah, I think most Atleti fans were saying, when did Patrick Vieira sign for Atleti? Well, Colombia was kind of, he put on a monstrous performance today, which was similar to how he started the season. But injuries came and then he had to struggle. But his performance today was really great because he kind of bossed the midfield today. Great. Yeah. Because it was like thou shall not pass, because you have him intercepting balls, winning the balls. It was like just Atleti have struggled in midfield season, but it was just like just allow Colombia in midfield alone and he kinds of block all of United attacks and the rest. But another thing which benefited United in this game was down to the fact that Bruno Fernandes and Paul Pogba, they acted as number 8. That means they were quite high, and that kind of left threat as the holding midfielder exposed, which is something Ralf Rangnick corrected in the second half by bringing on Matich for Pogba. So, how do you think? Do you think the goal definitely was a mistake? But do you think Cholo kind of wasted time in reacting to Rangnick's substitution, or you would have made substitutions earlier, given the United were there for the taking, because Atleti were comfortable the whole night, apart from the one moment of, let me say, brilliance from Bruno Fernandes, because his pass was really good and Ronaldo's interception was not great. So do you think Cholos could have made substitutions earlier on in the game? Look,
Absolutely, I was screaming at the telly, I was screaming at the television for him to make the substitutions. I think he just left that way too late. Um, and subsequently, when United surprisingly brought on Vidic, they started to play a bit better. And then that was sort of near the same time we brought in Griezmann and Lamar, which sort of took out the Lodi and Felix, which sort of dipped our intensity and then led to mistake a goal. So I thought that he left the substitutions way too late, and he only made two. I would have liked seeing Luis Suarez out earlier even and to play. I think Luis Suarez would have he would have liked to score a few goals against United.
well, you just talked about Luis Suarez. I think it was a brave and bold and correct decision from Cholo not to start Suarez. But you just talked about maybe Cholo bringing him earlier on in the game because it looks like, well, the players have been running for most of the game, and towards the game kind of becomes stretched with most of the players kind of having tired legs. So, what was your take on Cholo substitutions and how it affected the game?
Yeah, no, our game plan was one that required a lot of intensity, and our players were exhausted. It was the 70th minute, and Cholo had made no changes, no substitutions, and yeah, he made two in the 75th minute, and then he made nothing else. So yeah, our players obviously were very tired, and when you're tired, you are not only playing worse physically but also mentally. In the goal, we have so much free space, and the players are running, but they are just exhausted. And yeah, I think that was a big problem. We could have bring De Paul. De Paul could have played. He runs a lot. He barely ever gets tired. But yeah, we didn't bring him. And Suarez, yeah, it's okay that he didn't start from the start. But yeah, we could have brought him too. And yeah, basically, I think that was the biggest mistake. No substitutions.
Well, the substitutions affected the game positively for United, and as for Atleti, it wasn't the best because you have a longer who gave equalize for United, and he's basically one of the academy prospect. And talking about that goal, well, Oblak's positioning on the goal is quite questionable because, well, he kind of covered so much the near post that he left the far post exposed. Oblak has been really struggling this season, and basically that goal just sums up his season.
Yeah. Well, Oblak was bad in the goal. He covered the first post way too much, left a lot of space in the other post, and Elanga's shot wasn't great. It was savable. Usual Oblak, not this version of Oblak, usual Oblak saves that. Yeah, Reinildo also made that mistake. He tried to anticipate the ball before it got to Elanga, and yeah, maybe he should have waited and followed Elanga, but yeah, well, a mistake we can do nothing about, but our players were very good.
Yeah, a mistake is a mistake, and that cost Atleti the win tonight as they will take a 1-1 draw back to Old Trafford. So Luke tweeted just after the game that this is the performance in which you can take as a season-changing performance. But we said something similar against Liverpool, nothing changed. We said something similar against Betis, and nothing changed. So looking at this performance, Atleti has been lacking clarity in their game all season. That's most of the games, but they finally have clarity this season. So after having clarity, do you think they can be consistent in this? I'm not saying maybe repeat the same approach, but consistent in controlling games because their games have been crazy. We saw that against Getafe 4-3. a dismal performance against Levante. So they have been inconsistent. Atleti's 4 previous games have shown us 4 different versions of Atleti. You have a crazy game against Getafe. Atleti takes 2-0 lead. Getafe equalizes and start leading 3-2. Atleti comes and equalizes before winning 4-3 with a goal from Hermoso. You have an underwhelming performance against Levante. Then you have a kind of deep performance against Osasuna. And now you have this performance against Man United, which Atleti basically control the game. So, are we going to see consistency from Atleti?
I wish. It's we've been saying that like since every odd game we've had, like good game. It was like maybe this is the time we can fucking be consistent. But like I don't know. This has been it's been our best performance this season. I'd hope it is the turning point. I'd say it is one of those matches that are the turning points of seasons. It was a bit like it was sort of almost mirrored the round 16 draw against Anfield 2 years ago. But I just hope to God that we could actually start playing with big consistency. I think that with all that we've done, we've improved so much. I think that we're still a bit inconsistent with our end product. I think that we're lacking a tiny bit, but overall, if we can start using that as a template for future matches, even if we go back to Osasuna last week, where I think that we played before this match, we played our defensive, most defensive structures of the season against Osasuna a couple of days ago. So I think that judging by Osasuna's performance against Osasuna and this performance, I think hopefully we are on the forward up, we're progressing towards the season.
Well, you just talked about Osasuna. Atleti were clinical against Osasuna, but not as clinical against United, as they hit the post 3 times. One the first goal hitting the post and the inside of the post and getting to the back of the net, but the other 2 hit the crossbar twice. So you just saw Atleti having clarity against United, and I'm going to ask the same question to you. Do you think Atleti can now be consistent from now to the end of the season after putting on this outstanding performance against United?
Yeah. To be honest, I don't know. I've been saying yes, we can build from this game, like almost after every win. When we win against the Valencia game, we won that one. I said, yeah, we can build from this game, and we then played the horrible match we played against Barcelona. We then played the horrible match we played against Barcelona. I am not so sure if we can improve now, if we can be more consistent. I hope, but this Atleti is so unpredictable.
Yeah, unpredictability has been the theme of Atletico Madrid this season. Well, as all Colchoneros out there are hoping the team can find a consistency in it. Joao Felix has scored in back-to-back games. The performance against Osasuna wasn't the best, but Osasuna did not have a lot of threat against Atleti. So the game ended 1-1, which means Atleti have to play the return leg in, I think, over 2 weeks' time at Old Trafford. So what's your take on Atleti taking a 1-1 draw to Old Trafford, knowing that they would no away goal rule? That means despite the fact United scored at Atleti's field, it doesn't count anything. That means Atleti go and Atleti maybe beat United 2-1 or whatever. So or maybe 2-2 draw. It doesn't count as an away goal. So what's your take on how do you see the game at Old Trafford?
Yeah, the the away goal rule doesn't exist anymore, that's good. Because if not, we would have been in a much worse position. But it's okay. I mean, I'll take a draw. Manchester United at Old Trafford, well, I don't know, they haven't been the greatest. They have got some pretty bad results. I think I am checking, they lost against Aston Villa, drew against Everton, lost against Liverpool. Yeah, they had not the greatest form at Old Trafford, so I think we can get a result. And yeah, I think that the away goal rule helps us, but will not help us a lot at Old Trafford. In the past, we have relied on this away goal rule sometimes, like against Bayern. I'm going way back, but
I think most Atleti fans remember that game. Griezmann and the rest.
I think we can do something at Old Trafford. I like to go in Partido, but I want to see how the team is closer to that game. But I think we can do something, especially with Griezmann back now. Hope Lodi is okay. He went out. He left the game with an injury. I don't know what he has, but yeah, I think we can do something. I am feeling confident.
Yeah, I think most Atleti fans are feeling confident, especially after this performance. But let's not forget, most of the United players were having an off day. It's not just that they had an off day, but Atleti kind of forced them to do that because Atleti rushed their passes. And going to Old Trafford, well, I think the first goal in that kind of forced them to do that because Atleti rushed their passes. And going to Old Trafford, well, United have a very good away record. I think they have not lost any game under Ragnick, adding to this draw. So, but at home, like you said, they are not really the best. So, Atleti can, from that, the Atleti's away record also isn't the best because this game against Osasuna was Atleti's first away win in a while. So, at Old Trafford, it's where the guy is going to be decided, and Atleti will need to do more than they did in this home game because technically the number of away fans will not be as much as it was in this game. So look, judging from how the fans reacted at, say, Estadio de Dragao and how the fans reacted at Anfield, what's your take on Atleti's chances of making it through when they go to Old Trafford in about 2 weeks' time?
Well, you'd have that fucking dickhead Ronaldo, and Ronaldo with us. So he's a factor. But other than that, if you take him out of it, just focus on teams. Yeah, I think we have a great shot. Yeah, I think we have a good shot of making the quarterfinals. I think that United aren't really a solid team. They have a few good players, but I don't think that they're a team. They're not that glued. It's a bit like us, but I think we have better quality. So I want to say that we go past, and I'd be absolutely optimistic that we will. But they have missed our CR7, so you know how that fucking fairy tale ends.
The thing is, you have Manchester United, which I think is one of the worst coach sides in the world. I mean, they are a mess. We have also been a mess this season, but I think we are well coached. Simeone has had us for 10 years. He knows what he's doing. The players know what he wants. But in Manchester United, I see a badly coached side, and the fans are very divided. You see, I don't know, ones that ask for Rangnick to leave, ones that want him to stay, ones that hate Maguire, ones that think Lindelof should start. So I think that they are one of the most divided fans in the world, and I think we really can do something at Old Trafford. I don't know why, but I am overly optimistic. fans in the world.
Well, you just talked about United not being well coached. Well, that's been on display because they are struggling in so many aspects of the game, like ball progression. But I think their main problem is not really about the coaching, but the execution. Because you kind of watch them and you see their game plan is clear, but now the execution kind of let them down, and it was also the case today. But thanks to Atleti for disrupting that flow. So talking about that away clash, well, just came across some stats now which shows that United has won just once in this return leg after facing the Spanish club, and that was a 1-0 win against Barcelona. In the 1990-2000 season, they lost 3-2 to Madrid. They lost 2-1 to Madrid in the 12-13 season, and they also lost 2-1 to Sevilla. And we all remember that Benitez knocking Mourinho's team out of the Champions League. So Atleti's chances are not bad, given there's no away goal rule. So United goal doesn't really have, I will not say much value, but it not have the same value it would have had as if there was an away goal rule. So we all to play for at Old Trafford in about 2 weeks' time. Hopefully, Atleti can be steady for 90 minutes. Cholo gets things right as he got it today, and Atleti can grab the win. So moving forward, we are going to be talking about Atleti's chances of having a good season, because I think many will agree the fact that Atleti eliminating from the Champions League from in the round of 16 isn't great given the squad quality and the expectations at the start of the season. So, FV, I'm going to ask you this question. What do you think is going to be a good season for you? Whether for Atleti, finish in the top 4 or maybe go far as they can in the Champions League?
Well, during the middle of the season, when we were still in the Copa del Rey and the Supercopa, I said that I would be happy if we won one of them, one of the Supercopa or Copa del Rey, and we finished in the top 4. Well, that went awful, we know. So I think we will get top 4. I think we will get Champions League, and I am happy depending on the rival if we get to the quarter-finals of the Champions League. I mean, I don't want to ask much. I just want us to get better and get top 4. Prepare for next season because it's obviously not good. But I don't know why, but when we do bad in the league, we do something in the Champions League. So I am very optimistic. Like, you remember Liverpool. We were like 6th in the league. I don't know, 6th or 5th. We were outside the top 4. And we knocked out prime club Liverpool. So I think we can do something in the Champions League. And I am happy with top 4, even if we finish 4th.
Yeah, that was the win against Liverpool 2 seasons ago was like kind of the changing point in Atleti season, as from then onward we had Marcos Llorente flung into the scenes. We had Atleti winning teams comfortably, controlling games. So yeah, it's really tough to say, as especially given Atleti's motto is game by game, but we are just saying in the worst case, or maybe what happens at the end of the season, should Atleti finish in a certain position, what we consider as a good season or a bad season. Basically, I'm sure everybody's expectation at the start of the season has gone under the bed by now, especially with what happened in January. So look, what would be a good end to the season for you?
Well, you have to just look what the board wants. The board wants top 4 and round 16, and if we can manage that, obviously we've got the round 16 done. Obviously, what we're looking at performance-wise, hopefully we can get top 4. I believe we will. But I'd like to see many of the players just step up, get in. These likes of Rodrigo de Paul, get nice and comfortable into Atleti and all that. Past few games, especially just want to talk about de Paul. He hasn't been past few games. He hasn't been as effective as he was the couple of first few games he had. So hopefully if we can get a player like Paul on our level, with the Atleti DNA, I think that we can really achieve something for next season, hopefully.
Yeah,
hope.
I during the middle of the season, I said that our main objective should be recover our Atleti DNA that we've been missing for a while. Yeah, we really need to reconnect with that.
Yeah, that's true because in the two previous games, like this game against United was kind of a mix of Atleti of 2016-14 and Atleti of last season from January to December. So kind of getting back our DNA in which because this game we control the game without the ball. So that's something which in the last two games we have seen. Hopefully we can go that way so that we can clinch top four because that seems to be one of the ways we can do that despite the fact that we have so many players who in my opinion are suited for a position based type, but that's not been the case this season. So the final question, Atleti approach United with an aggressive style showing intensity, and I may just give a stat now which might be surprising to most of you. Atleti has played 35 games this season and Cholo has made 33 different starting 11s. That maybe also be part of the problem. But well, partido by partido, that means you approach game by game. So the question is, how should Atleti approach games from now to the end of the season, especially starting with that of Celta, and we know how Codex teams play, Cacho Codex Celta plays fast, free attacking football. So how should Cholo approach game? Should he go with the approach used against United, or should he maybe use that of say Osasuna, in which we sit deep and we counter attack no matter the opponent? So starting with SV.
Yeah, no, against Celta, we should do more of what we did today. We know how Chacho Codet plays. We know that they are a team that if Tapia isn't there to help cover everything, they are really exposed. Their center backs aren't great.
Yeah, that's true, but recently Bryce Mendes has stepped up and well, it's like he's doing well and he's kind of doing Tapia's job and being better on the ball. So
yeah, if you don't have that midfielder that helps out everything and recovers balls easily, they are exposed. Their defense has been shaky this season. Only I think I like the most Aidu. I think he's been great, but him alone can do everything. But if we play the same way we played today, I think we can really expose them. I mean, they are not that great in the build-up. They are similar to United in that sense. Joao Correa can drive that whole defense mad. And yeah, I think we should do more of what we did today rather than what we did against Osasuna. Against Osasuna, we played intelligently. We didn't let them cross that much. You know, the main way of creating chances for Thiago Arrasate is all his wing play and his crosses. And we didn't let them do that much. But yeah, Chacho Celta is different, and I think we should play more like today.
Yes, you just talked about the fact that they are similar to United. Well, Aido is not really the best player when it comes to playing now from the back. He has struggled under pressure, so a similar approach may pay off. But well, it's Celta, and they are kind of a turning Atleti's stride. And so, like you said, it shows that from your answer, you want Atleti to vary from game to game and not really approach every game with a high press. So when we play against teams that are not good building up from the back, we maybe high press, and all of this high press is not really possible without Colombia. So that definitely means that we will have to be sacrificing one of Koke and DePaul, because in my opinion, yes.
No, the thing is that not only if teams build up on the back well, like Osasuna, if you press them, they can easily go long. They have Budimir and Kike Garcia. They are incredible target men, and you can go long easily, and they have no problem. So yeah, not only teams that don't build from the back well, you have to press now. And yeah, you said that Kondogbia is necessary. Yeah, he is. Well, you have Koke. That Koke. What I think his main problem is that this season, I don't know, he seems off. He seems like he isn't as intense as always. He looks low. And yeah, so I don't know. I'd maybe give more chances to De Paul and Herrera.
Exactly. Well, one of the things, in my opinion, which has really let Atleti down this season has been Cholo's maybe unwillingness to drop. So I would say some of his favorites and maybe go with those who are him doing this against United has paid off. To be honest, starting Herrera ahead of De Paul. De Paul has struggled, yes, and he has maybe not settled in. But even if Koke comes back to fitness, and in my opinion, Koke has not been doing well this season, you kind of drop the guy and go for those who are. Because I'm one of those who, I will not lie, I will prefer even to see young Serrano having chances so far as he's willing to put in the minutes and do it. Because I think there have been so many players this season who have been underperforming, and having them keep on starting kind of give, I don't know how to put, but maybe adjust that mentality, give them a type of mentality that maybe no matter what I do, I still play. But imagine that he shakes up things like he did today. To be honest, takes that Suarez starts against Celta, I'm sure you are going to see a better version of Suarez who links up play better than he has been doing all season. So shaking things up, in my opinion, is really great. Given Herrera has played back-to-back games and he has been outstanding. So doing things like that kind of increases the competition within the team. I know Koke is vital to maybe how Atleti play, but Cholo has to, in my opinion, shaking things up. No player has guaranteed starting when it comes to Korea and Felix. Yeah, that's true, but for certain players, it's not really the case. So shaking things up, maybe improve things.
Yeah, you know, when you're a certified starter and you do things not that well all the time and you keep starting, it's obviously not good. Koke started every game, even if he played well or bad. You sometimes need to change. Serrano, I think he should be given more chances, but mainly because this guy wants to play. This guy will show intensity. This guy will die for the team. Something Koke isn't doing right now because he looks very slow.
Yeah, concerning Koke, well, we have talked about this in previous podcasts. I'm just giving this as an excuse because I'm his biggest fan. I would say one of his biggest fans, due to the fact, well, he played almost all of Atleti's games last season, and if you want to include the Euros, he also was crucial for Spain Euros.
Yeah, he's tired. Yeah, but
and he did not have a lot of rest before he joined IT, part of the podcast, which is basically, you can speak. Well, that brings us to the final part of the podcast, where is basically we ask our guests that come to the podcast a quiz. So, FB, are you ready? How much do we have to test your knowledge on how much you know Atleti?
Sorry, what did you say?
This is the last part where each of us, each time we have a special guest, we ask, you have a quiz on how much you know Atleti. So
okay.
To the final part of the podcast, where is basically which one is related to tonight's game. When was the last time Atleti? So the last time Atleti played United.
The last time Atleti played United
was in the European competition. It was the European Cup winners. It was 4-1.
I don't remember the score. I remember the game. I remember the Fute score, the goals. I remember watching the highlights when we where we drew United in the UCL, but I didn't remember the score. Okay.
So the next question goes to Atleti's defensive side of the game. So Atleti has conceded 34 league goals this season. So that's basically the worst under Cholo. So what's the second worst goal tally Atleti has conceded in a single season under Diego Simeone?
This is a question I also read, but I don't remember. My mind goes to the 2019-20 season or the one before that, the 2018-19. I'm going to say the 2019-20.
Well, basically, it is you have it correct.
Vamos.
Okay, so the next question. So basically, you have that's 1 or 2. So the next question goes on Cholo. So Cholo played for Atleti over 2 spells. Can you name the spells?
Okay. Wow. I haven't finished the documentary, so I don't remember well. But he was during the 95-96 season. He was there. He was in the previous season. So you have those 2 seasons. I think he stayed another season more.
Yes, he was part of the duplet winning season and
after the season we won the double, he stayed another season, right?
Yes.
Then he left. Yeah. And then he returned in 1999?
No, he returned for the 2003-2005 season.
No, yes.
So basically the next one is going to be easy. Who scored Atleti's all-time? Who scored the first goal at the Wanda Metropolitano for Atleti?
Oh, I remember that one. Griezmann against Malaga. I remember. The game ended 1-0.
And who scored the last goal at the Estadio Vicente Calderón?
Ángel Correa.
So thank you for having me on the podcast FV. Hopefully you can join us for future podcasts, for future episodes.
Yeah. I hope I return. It was good. I enjoyed it.
Thank you very much. So Luke, thank you for featuring on this another episode.
Well, it's been a pleasure as usual.
Okay. So guys, remember, never stop believing, and remember the tie is not over. There's 90 minutes and or more to be played at Old Trafford, and Atleti play Celta this weekend. So nunca deja de confiar.
Oh.
Yeah.
See.